benefits. Alex, we're sort of, I'm really disappointed. I thought I dressed especially like you tonight. I've dressed like Alex Megos tonight with a sort of
Wow.
Hawaiian shirt and a cap and a sort of pair of jolly shorts and everything. And
Well,
you're wearing
I
a t-shirt. You're going for Operation B, option B in the
know.
dress code.
It's a option B. It's like climbing outfit. I just got
Stand
back
up and
from
give us a
climbing
look.
pretty much.
Give us a look.
Check this out.
Yellow
Red
t-shirt.
pants, yellow Crocs, yellow t-shirt. It's all right. It's not too bad.
Yeah. You're like one of those very successful guys who wears the same thing every day, aren't you? Like Bill Gates would do it, put on the same uniform, so you don't need to think about it.
Exactly.
Just
Except that I
focus
put on good clothes.
not a stiff shirt. I'm in some sort of cheesy hotel here. Have you seen what's it called? I'm Alan Partridge. Do you watch English comedy?
No.
Alan Partridge is this chat show host, and he lives in a motel afterwards. And the series is based around his life in the motel, and this is a bit like it. But you're somewhere much nicer. You're in Turkey, Alex.
Hell yeah, I am. I'm secretly in Turkey. Nobody's supposed to know.
Oh well, we can delete that bit out. Okay, let's do it again. You're in.
Well, whatever. Everybody there, Kendall, just be quiet. Just don't
Should we
tell
say hello to
anybody.
Say hello to Kendall. Alex, go on, say hello to all the little people in Kendall.
Hello, Kendall. How's it going? I'm very sorry I can't be there in real, but being here in Turkey on the couch is actually quite a lot better because that means I can climb on dry rock tomorrow.
Beautiful. How's Turkey? I've not been to Turkey to climb.
It's good. I mean, there's not very much hard stuff, but I'm working on it to put up some hard stuff, and people are very friendly. It's good food, kind of sunny, like too warm to climb the sun, but it's all right for that time of year. It's all right.
What time of year is it over there?
Same time of year as everywhere else in Europe, I reckon.
The German sense of humor. So I suppose you're getting all this about your 9C, are you? Is everyone sort of talking about the 9C, 9C this, 9C that? Can you still go to
that's already over, actually.
Is that over? You're sort of, that's old news. Can you go to Prague and be anonymous, Alex? Can you be
well, that's not going to happen over here, I reckon. Especially not if there's other people. But yeah, I think now that the film was released last week, actually this week, was it? I think, yeah, this week. People obviously talk about it, and I think that's quite cool. I got a lot of nice feedback from people saying that they really enjoyed the film and we did a good job with it. So yeah, seems to be doing something right.
Were you involved in making it, apart from being this sort of the central character? Are you a creative person? Do you take control of your over this sort of stuff?
I'm trying to be a creative person. I was not very much in control of this film, but I obviously gave them some feedback when they sent me the first draft cut, and I said I would like this to be changed to this and that, but I haven't really edited anything, and I reckon if you have a look at my YouTube channel, you'll see that a few of the videos are mine, and you'll see that I'm not a very talented editor.
No. I gather you don't have many talents, but you make the most of what you have, which is a very admirable thing in a person. To sing your loudest. You sing your loudest, Alex, which is very good.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, I can sing loud, not good, but loud.
Yeah, well, that's really important. Hang on, I keep getting little messages coming in. There's a shop up here called Rock and Run. They keep sending me deals. So if my mind wanders, it's because some sort of good deals are popping in on the side of the computer for cheap ropes and things, which I'm after a rope. So if one pops up, you might lose me a little bit any moment.
Yeah, that's fine. I think you should purchase some ropes for the time when you can go climbing again after the lockdown.
Yeah, well, we still can climb here.
What? Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, and all the way through lockdown, you could climb in Germany. Not all the way, but for a lot. Franken Europe was open.
Yeah, that's true. But I mean, last lockdown was amazing because the conditions were good. The question is if there'll be another lockdown now over the winter. It's not going to be as amazing, I reckon, just because, November and December are not exactly Franken Euro season.
No, so normally you travel in the winter time to other places.
Exactly, which is not going to happen this year, probably.
It's a bit
Well,
rubbish, isn't it?
it's
Has it
very
been
rubbish
rubbish?
if you ask me. Yeah. Since it seems like there's cases everywhere in Europe now, why isn't it, just let people travel? I don't see the
Yeah, yeah.
difference.
I guess, yeah, yeah. I don't know the answer to that. I don't know the answer to that, but it all is kind of hard going. Has it been hard to stay motivated? You know what I want to do every now and again, Alex? I'm a big fan of Germans, and one of the things I like a lot about Germans is the way they say things like motivated and Wally. So when I'm talking to you, I want to say, has it been hard to stay motivated through lockdown?
Oh, it's been very hard to stay motivated. Yes, for sure. Yeah, a little
Uh-huh.
wedgie.
But
That's your favorite word, isn't it?
I do like it. So amazing. You did bibliography in what month?
Oh, in August, beginning of August, yeah.
Really? That was that a great personal achievement for you?
I reckon it was, yeah. It took me quite some
Yeah.
time. Felt quite relieved ticking that one off, especially because I didn't know whether it'll happen or not,
Was
sometimes.
there was a genuine doubt that would ever happen for you?
I mean, there were trips where I definitely were in doubt, and just because probably I had a bad trip, and within 2 weeks I didn't make any progress on the route, and then you start doubting. But yeah, I deep down I knew that I'm capable of climbing it, and that'll just be a matter of time. But after 3 years, you kind of feel like, well, enough time has passed. I want to get up now.
Yeah. 3 years, huh? That's incredible.
Yeah, I mean, obviously it was not 3 years trying like all the time, but over the course of 3 years, I definitely went there quite a few times just to do a little performance check, see what the
Uh-huh.
performance is like, and see if I've got better chances on the route, and so on and so on. So
Yeah,
yeah, it actually took quite some time.
sure. Wow. So I interviewed you one time before for the podcast, and I think one of the things you said that your motivation was to be strong enough that you could go anywhere you wanted and do whatever you wanted. I'm pretty sure that's you said something along those lines, but your motivation was to have a level of strength that allowed you to do the things that you wanted to do at times, not any one particular things or not any particular climbs or boulder problems, but more to have this level of strength. Does this mean you've changed that outlook, the fact that you're able to apply that amount of energy to one thing?
Well, yeah, I mean, I feel like that has changed a little bit, and I still like to go places and just climb. Like, for example, here in Turkey, where I'm secretly in Turkey now, and nobody should know about it. I just like
Yeah.
to go and do things and climb as much as possible. But I've as well learned that sometimes if you want to climb really hard and at your limit, you just need to be willing to invest some time. And yeah, I think that's what I did with bibliography.
Right. And would you do that again? Was that a like a one-off? So recently you did Perfecto Mundo in
2 years
Spain.
ago, yeah.
How long did that take you in terms of days?
I think in total like 16 climbing days, and I was there for about 4 weeks in total. So
So
yeah, it took me not very long compared to bibliography,
bibliography
and
is how many days?
too many, around 60, I would say. I never really counted, but
Yeah.
just the estimation is 60.
Right. Wow. So extra half a grade, 9B plus 9C. Is what happened in those 2 years? Did you become a better climber, or is it purely down to the amount of effort you put into it? Is that what's made the difference in terms of that? Or I mean, how do you so if you can do 9B plus in 16 days and then 60 days for something that's harder, is it uh, does that mark an improvement in you or your ability to siege or
Well, that's a good question. I think that I developed as a climber, not
uh,
necessarily in terms of strength, but more in terms of the mindset that I was more willing to invest time not knowing what the outcome would be. And I think that's probably an important factor if you want to climb hard. And with Perfecto Mundo, I knew straight away from the first day, I knew I would climb it, and I knew I would stay as long as it takes to climb it. And that was 4 weeks, and then I left. With bibliography, that I never kind of went to Sirius with intention to climb it by the end of the trip, because I just didn't know how long it would take. And
Right.
eventually it did happen. But I think, yeah, that's something I've learned, that you need this mindset in order to climb hard. And hopefully I'll have the opportunity again at some point if there's like a cool line standing around that I'm willing to invest lots of time. I just don't want to invest time in shit, you know? Like, you don't want to climb like a shitty line just because of the grade. You want to climb an awesome line that
Right.
ideally has a high grade too.
Yeah. So if you imagine to progress, I'm just looking at numerically, to progress beyond the grade of bibliography, is it imply more time again next time, even longer?
Yeah, I mean, probably. Probably that would mean trying more days and training more specific, and just hoping for this one day that where everything comes together, and that might take years. Who knows?
Huh. And was the actual ascent as a, climbing often was that these beautiful moments where things, like you said, where things work out well, where it's a perfect moment. Was that the experience of bibliography, that perfect moment of climbing, the perfect mindset, perfect conditions, perfect body?
Well, perfect body always.
I've seen your legs, Alex.
I mean, that's the thing, it was not necessarily perfect because it was my third climbing day in a row. It was already my second attempt, and I only wanted to do one attempt. My mindset was that probably my mindset was quite good, because I didn't expect any more to send at all. It was the last day of the trip, kind of like the go after the last go already. And I just wanted to give it one good try to drive back home with a good feeling. So my mindset was not at all that I've got a serious chance of actually sending it. And therefore I was quite free and quite relaxed and could give it a good try. And in terms of climbing flow, it was pretty good and pretty perfect. And the upper section felt a lot better than it had felt, previous tries. So, but it still shows me, because it was my third day, because it was the end of a 2.5 weeks trip to Sayus, I was actually already mentally and physically tired, that it should have not been my absolute limit if I could still do it that day.
So what do you take from that?
I take from that, I just need to find like the perfect route that looks absolutely amazing, that's maybe 90 plus hard, that motivates me to try 5 years, and then I need to be there like with perfect conditions, perfect strength, perfect body, like you said, and just wait for this one try that'll come eventually, and climb up it, and then I'll hopefully achieve the hardest thing I'll ever achieve.
Right, so that's amazing. Sounds like a very cool thing to engage with. Would you actually go and deliberately engage with that process now of searching the world for?
I'm searching right now in Turkey, secretly, of course, and haven't found anything yet. Haven't found anything yet, to be honest. No. I reckon there's too many tufas over here. It's too many tufas, and too many knee bars. Don't really like that.
Right.
And very often, like, not ideal conditions, and not exactly the country you would want to travel to multiple times, because it's politically not very stable, I would say. So let's not look for more support projects in Turkey.
No, or Iran, or
yeah, Iran would be great. Yeah, so I don't really know. So it's hard to look somewhere at the moment, especially because you can't just travel around freely, which is already one big problem, I would say, because that means you can't really look.
Yeah. So you're kind of, so as a professional climber, you've had this climbing career since age. I mean, you got into climbing, then sort of maybe stepped up into becoming a sort of an elite climber, and you've got this sort of trajectory of career. Do you wish over that trajectory to create a few things such as bibliography, things that are your statement of who you are as a climber, or is it just more personal journey you're on? Is it more the act of climbing is your thing? Do you hope to sort of leave your mark? It's okay. I helped Jerry Moffat write his book, Revelations, and he did this border problem called Dominator in Yosemite.
Heard about that. Yep.
And so his expression was that he wanted to do a really hard problem right in the middle of Camp 4. And he said, if anybody wants to know how well I was climbing in 1994, go and try that, because that's just there for anyone to try. And that's a mark of where he was at. And I might be wrong about 1994, but that thing of leaving a statement of who you are as a climber for anyone to come to try in the future, does that motivate at all, or is that part of what the game is?
I mean, it's not necessarily the main part of the motivation. The main part of the motivation is to find something hard to climb and to fill my days at the crack with something that's challenging. But of course, that part comes with it. Maybe in 30 years' time, people will look at bibliography and see, that's how hard they climbed in 2020. And maybe somebody will try to climb in a day, or somebody will, I don't know, try to flash it or whatever. And how.
Sure, they will. Yeah.
I mean, eventually they will. Hopefully, that's what I'm hoping for. And then, of course, it is some sort of benchmark that people in the future can look back to and say, that's what was back then the hardest climb in the world.
Yeah. Somebody on site didn't say, they weren't actually climbing very hard in 2020, were they?
I know. It's a bunch of jugs and they just couldn't get up it.
So what about the Olympics? Has the cessation of the Olympics for this year made it a better year for you? Or, taking COVID aside, has taking Olympics out of the equation made it better or worse personally?
I would say better, just because I had time to climb bibliography. And I finally had time to go rock climbing again. I felt like the beginning of this year, I was a little bit annoyed by training in the gym so much. So it gave me a well-deserved break to go rock climbing, which is, I think, a win for me, I would say.
Yeah. So gold medal or bibliography?
Well, I mean, I've got the one, and the other one, I don't know about that. It's not said that if the Olympics would have happened, I would have won a gold. Actually, that's very unlikely, I reckon. Just because there's some indoor climbing machines that's, I've been training speed for years now. And since I heard that the Olympics will be postponed or potentially cancelled, we'll see. Not entirely convinced that it'll happen, to be honest. Yeah. But we'll see. I kind of haven't done a single speed session.
Right, Alex. Cheers for that. I think that's probably. I've just got a message saying time to wrap up. So you probably sent Clive a message saying please end this call. So Clive's ending the call. Thanks a million for your time.
That's why I've got always two phones just in case,
I know. A burner. That's amazing, Alex. Really nice to chat to you again. Hope to see you sometime over in Sheffield sometime in the near future.
I would love to come. Normally I come every winter, but
I know.
It doesn't look like I can come this winter. We'll see.
Yeah. All right. Well, thanks a million and good luck in Turkey. Cheers, my friend.
Thank you.
See
you, Kendall. Have a good evening. Bye.
Bye from us.